information, that's what's going to be powerful, So, I would say a combination of, incorporating something like this to the transition assistance briefing, along with putting the Emperor Wears No Clothes in everybody's hands, and letting them read it for themselves. That's what's going to help get the word out.
That is so true. We're joined with James J.J. Johnson. He's a Master Sergeant retired from the United States Air Force combat veteran. JJ, that is so true, getting it into their hands and really making the message be a wider message, a more educated and informed message. But, man, we're fighting a battle, brother. We are fighting a war, not just a battle, a war.
Good. I like it, bro.
How can we get in the door, How do we beat that door down?
Man, what a valued mentor of mine once taught me, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Yes. And it's going to take people like us to stay on the front lines of this industry at a time when there is no front line. We can't come off the front line. We can't back down. We can't flinch, because if we flinch, we lose. That's cool. We have to keep this thing at the forefront at all times, because persistence is the only thing that breaks down resistance.
That is so true. So true. So your persistence with this industry and getting people involved in it, what does that entail? What are you doing to help somebody that comes to you and says, hey, JJ, I want to get in the cannabis industry, man. I don't know where to start. What do you do?
Well, I'm like I said, I'm a different person, but I tell people up front, this industry may not be for you. I tell them that up front, and I look them in their eyes when I do it, because they a lot of times people have these dreams of coming into cannabis and hitting one lick, growing one crop one time and retiring,
get
for
rich.
The rest of their life, like
get rich
Beverly Hills. Here's a little story about a man named Jed. That is so not gonna happen. You got to start off small, because your losses can be great, and I'm scared for a lot of my brothers and sisters in the great state of Texas right now. Texas is about to go legal, with their program, and everybody always says everything's bigger in Texas. Well, you know what? Your losses are going to be a lot bigger than everybody else's too. If you do this thing the wrong way starting out. And I'm not saying that to pick on Texas. I'm just saying that because that's what's happened, with here, within the state of Oklahoma, where I'm from. Well, I'm from Alabama, excuse me, but that's where I live, is Oklahoma. But that's what's happened here in Oklahoma. It's happened in so many other states as well. And I don't want to see that happen, in the state of Texas as well, because there are just so many ways for people to get hosed in this industry JJ, and ruin their life.
You're right. That's why we're sitting on thousands of pounds right now of flour that have not been processed, because we were, one, not prepared, and two, there is no end game to it. And that's what we've got to, get that message across to our brothers and sisters. And what you said earlier, we preach it every day. Look, start low, go slow. We say that with cannabis. Then we say that with the grow operations too. Start with an acre. I had a conversation with a guy who's been a potato farmer for years, said he was going to grow 300 acres, and he was going to do it for 4 people and mechanically harvest that.
No.
I said, respectfully, sir, you're not going to be able to do that. Well, respectfully, son, you ain't got the experience that I do. I was like, okay, sure. That's fine.
Roger that.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I left it. He was, a mid-70s guy and knew everything about growing potatoes. And I was like, sir, hemp is way different. We ain't talking about the same. These stalks won't go through your combine,
There you
go.
Yeah,
they will. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So it was comical,
Well, I always try to, and when I hear that, I always try to find an analogy to fit that person's personality to try to help relay a point to them. If you want to be a subject matter expert at anything at all, okay? If you want to be a subject matter expert if you wanted to go to the NBA to be an NBA basketball player, why in the hell would you go ask a brain surgeon how to do that?
Right.
That makes no sense. You need to get around a subject matter expert, someone who's already gained the subject matter expertise in order to teach you how to be an expert, okay? I am not a grower, but I know enough growers. I am not a farmer. I have been around enough farmers. If you want to talk to a farmer that's done this, I will let you talk to a farmer who's done it. But don't just be an idiot and just go off and do this arbitrarily on your own without talking to some people who've already been where you're about to go. That's the number one thing that most people don't do. And that crushes my soul to hear. You know, a few weeks ago, I was at a conference in Texas, the Texas Hemp Convention, and there was a young kid there. I mean, I want to say he's a fourth or fifth generation farmer. You know, they're going to do 40 acres of hemp. And I just cringed when I heard this young man say that. And the people were telling him, don't go that big. But he had a rebuttal for everything that was said. And I just finally said to myself in my mind, you're one of those people who's going to have to lose your ass.
Correct.
You're going to have to lose it.
JJ, in the same breath, though, they're the ones who lose their ass, but they have enough experience, industry experience, where when they lose their ass, people pay attention. And that's bad for the entire industry. You know,
exactly.
When somebody that's a fourth generation farmer should know what they're doing and they lose their ass on this, why am I going to get into this? You know,
exactly.
So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
It's extremely frustrating. And, you know, once again, we can only get there by continuing to, you know, win people's trust and giving them sound advice. I mean, you know, we're fighting a battle. I mean, there are going to be a few casualties. It is what it is. When you're baking a cake, you're going to break a few eggs. Now, I feel bad for those people, but I don't feel bad because I didn't try. And just like in the military, there were many things that we had to do, many obstacles that we had to overcome. We overcame the vast majority of them, but there were some that we weren't able to overcome. But the lessons that we learned during that last a lifetime.
That is so true. So true. Well, we got just a couple minutes left, JJ. So if you don't mind.
It's been that long already?
It has, man. It has. It flies by. If the listeners want to get a hold of you, learn a little bit more about what you do, is there a way they can get in contact with you?
Sure. Yeah. If anyone needs to get in contact with me, the easiest thing to do would be to send me an email. My email address is James, Jam as in Mike, E as in Echo, S as in Sierra. So James at jjgro.com. No W. James at jjgro.com. That's the easiest way. Have them send me an email that comes straight to my phone. I do my best to get back to those, you know, in a timely manner, and give people, you know, accurate information. I also have some private Facebook pages for different states. And, you know, once I communicate with someone over email, we get a good rapport going. And this is going to sound bad, but if I like them, I'll add them, you know, to those Facebook pages.
It doesn't sound bad at all. Look, brother, if we don't keep the nefarious actors out of this space, then we're going to be filled up with a bunch of crooks, you know?
Yep.
So, hey, you say that all day long, but stick to it, because I do the same damn thing, you know?
Yep.
And we have to.
Yep.
We have to.
And I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for anything. I'm not running for office. I'm not running for politics. I am here to help the people who want to be helped. And the only thing that I ask of anybody in the very beginning, just be coachable, teachable, and a pleasure to work with. That's it. If you're those three things, I will work with you all day long. Not one of the three, but all of the three. Because if you're not all of those three, I'm probably going to disconnect from you immediately, because you're getting on my nerves and you're activating my PTSD.
That's so true. So true. So is there a geographic region that you like to work in, or one that you just don't do much business in? If our listeners are in, you know, New Mexico or New Hampshire, can they contact you?
Sure. I'm here for everyone. I'm here to help any way I can. I don't know all the rules for every state, but I do know the way I do my Hemp 101 education. I know enough of what's going on, and once they get that general knowledge, they will be able to figure out the rules and regulations for their state. Because I talk about the 2014 Federal Farm Bill a little bit. I talk about the 2018 Federal Farm Bill. I talk about the USDA guidelines, you know, and how, you know, it's controlled by the state. I talk about, you know, THC. I talk about the measurement of uncertainty requirements on THC, you know, and I just give them a lot of good information. So basically, when it's time for them to figure out what they need to do for their state, they just need to go to their, you know, Department of Agriculture website and, you know, answer some questions online, and they're in the game, you know, if they have all their paperwork lined up. And if they don't have all the paperwork lined up, I've got people that can, help them figure out, the application processes for their states.
That's huge. Master Sergeant Johnson, I appreciate your time, sir. I appreciate what you've done for this country in service to her. And I appreciate you. And I'm really looking forward to having you on in the future as well.
Dude, I will come back anytime you want. And that same thanks goes to you because, what I do is important, but I feel like what you're doing is on the next level in terms of getting the big message out, the big word out to people. And I truly appreciate you and the service that you provided our nation as well.
Well, I appreciate that. We're going to make this country a better place. We know that. And we're going to do it with cannabis.
That's right. We're going to do it. We're going to get on base.
That's right. 100%. Hey, look, JJ, we're gonna get this podcast next year at this time, and we're going to be at least on one military installation.
I know. And that's going to be so funny when we are. And we're going to have, products, readily available for people to try out as well.
That's right. Thanks, guys, for joining us here on the Veterans for Cannabis podcast today. Honored to have Master Sergeant James J.J. Johnson with us, the combat veteran, United States Air Force. J.J., you take care, sir, and we'll have you back in the next few months.
Roger that. I sure will. Thank you so much. You have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.